Welcome to Deep Cuff Channel. It's almost time for the grand finale of the Ukraine war. It looks like the end of the road has been reached for Russia. Heroic offensive of the Ukrainian army at the front continues from where it left off. There are very important developments, especially the attack, which took place a few hours ago and in which unmanned systems were used, brought Ukraine one step closer to victory. Russia, on the other hand, began to lose critical areas. Vladimir Putin and Kremlin officials are dissatisfied with the state of the Russian army at the front. Russians want to change the course of the war by using their air force. British intelligence has released a new report that is not very good for the Russians. President of Ukraine Zelensky made new statements. Step taken by Russia for the winter attack plan is remarkable. Ukraine-Russia war has been at the center of the world agenda for a long time. Situation at the front indicates that the war will continue for a while. According to the latest news from the region, the Ukrainian armed forces repulsed the Russian attacks in the Luhansk and Donetsk oblasts and, using their missile forces, began to destroy the positions of the Russian forces and clusters of Russian military personnel, weapons and equipment. Statement on the subject was made by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. According to the statement, the Ukrainian armed forces repelled all Russian attacks in the last 24 hours in the vicinity of Bakhmut, Bilo-Horivka, Kurdyumivka, Marinka, Novo-Mikhailivka, Pervomaysky, Pidhorodin and Yakovlivka. As a result of the organized attacks of the Ukrainian army, Russia lost 390 soldiers, 6 tanks, 5 armored vehicles, 2 artillery systems, and 7 specially equipped military vehicles. After these attacks, the warplanes of the Ukrainian Air Force, which came into play, carried out quite critical attacks. Accordingly, Ukrainian warplanes carried out 6 air strikes against Russian forces in the last 24 hours. Main targets of these attacks were the areas where 3 anti-aircraft units and command centers were located and the positions under the control of Russian troops. This attack was also successful and Ukrainian warplanes struck 2 Russian command posts, an ammunition storage point, 5 Russian military personnel, equipment cluster, and 2 other critical military targets. After this attack, the waters in the Black Sea began to boil. Last week, the Ukrainian army's unmanned aerial vehicle attack on the Russian port of Sevastopol in Crimea attracted the attention of the whole world. Again, according to unconfirmed information in this context, at least 1 drone successfully attacked Russia's facilities in the port of Novorossiysk. Significance of this attack is that after the Sevastopol attack, Russia drew 95% of its naval forces to this port. For now, we have very little information about the attack, which is reported to have taken place in the port of Novorossiysk. Neither side has any intention of revealing what really happened there. Also, the port at Novorossiysk was considered extremely safe by Russia until now. Entry of unmanned warships into the port of Novorossiysk will cause the Russian Black Sea Fleet to seek another port. We knew that the Ukrainian army was trying to build an army with unmanned systems. This event took its place in the history of the war as a copy of the Sevastopol offensive. After this attack, the Russian Ministry of Defense ordered its troops to attack immediately. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russian forces had hit Ukrainian positions with artillery fire and carried out about 400 airstrikes in the eastern region alone on Sunday. Fact that most of these attacks were carried out by Russian missile and artillery units reveals Russia's strategy at the front. Ola Zdanov, a Kiev-based military analyst, reported, among others, that attacks on the Bakhmut and Avdiivka fronts in the Donetsk region were much more severe. It is stated that Russia moved its troops to the north, especially in the southern region, in order to carry out this attack. This has already been confirmed by many military analysts. According to British intelligence, the front in the southern Svatovoy area became a more vulnerable operational wing of the Russian troops. As the southwestern line of the Russian front on the east bank of the Dnieper has become more sheltered, the Svatov area has probably become a more vulnerable operational flank of the Russian forces, the British military report states. Russia seems to have given up its southern region entirely to lead its troops in eastern Ukraine to victory. Russian Ministry of Defense has also released many videos of the attacks. Video that attracted the most attention here was the image that showed a kamikaze unmanned aerial vehicle published by the Russian state media. In this video just released by Russian state media, it is seen that the Russian Lancet kamikaze unmanned aerial vehicle hit the S-300PS surface-to-air missile system serving in the Ukrainian army. Images released by Russian media appear to show that the Ukrainian S-300's radar was targeted and destroyed, but OSINT experts noted that many critical parts of the vehicle are missing, such as power supply units and telescopic antenna. It seems that Russia took a system that the Ukrainian army left behind and then destroyed this system with its own kamikaze systems. Russia's main purpose here is to hide its losses in the war and to ensure the continuation of its support to the war. We already know that Russia's strategies in the war changed drastically, especially after the Ukrainian army counterattack. Russia, which left Kherson, the critical city of the southern region, may now be preparing the end of Crimea with the aid it sent to the eastern region. However, many Russian military analysts think that with the approaching winter, the Russian army will make significant progress. As a matter of fact, it is stated that Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered the preparation of his troops, especially Mariupol. In addition, in this context, the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation announced that a missile unit in the Central Military District was rearmed with the Avangard hypersonic missile system. It has now become clear that the Russian Federation continues to rearm its missile forces. According to the latest press release of the Russian Ministry of Defense, all missile divisions on the territory of the Russian Federation were rearmed with additional units of the Iskander-M missile systems. Russia pays serious attention to the rearmament of missile and artillery units. We believe that the main reason for this is the Great Winter Offensive that Russia wants to launch against Ukraine. Although the exact number of missiles launched by Russia since the beginning of the war is not known, it has been claimed repeatedly that 70% of the missiles in the Russian inventory are exhausted. Only problem here is not only the depletion of Russian missiles, but also the serious economic burden of the war. So far, Russia has not been able to make a move against the economic sanctions. For this reason, it is already known that they are trying to borrow money from many countries. If we look at the Ukrainian side, we can easily say that this situation is easier, especially with the support provided by Western countries. Since the end of February 2022, the United States has supplied 236 artillery systems to Ukraine, according to data published on the website of the U.S. Department of State. In particular, Ukraine received 142 towed 155mm M777A2 howitzers and 36 105mm howitzers. In addition, 38 HIMARS multiple rocket launchers and 20 120mm mortars were one of the biggest aids that changed the course of the war for Ukraine. Besides, according to the U.S. Armed Forces Transportation Command, Ukraine has more than 1 million artillery shells, about 108,500 portable missile systems for combating armored targets, about 1,400 portable air defense systems, 15 helicopters, 46 radars, 10,200 light machine guns, and 26 patrols. By capturing the boat, he increased his advantage in battle. These aids to the Ukrainian army will have an important role in winning the war. NATO and the USA are currently the main suppliers of the Ukrainian military. In this context, Poland is taking a new step in response to Russia's aggressive strategy in the region. Allegedly, Poland wants to place Patriot air defense systems on the Ukrainian border. Polish Defense Minister Mariusz Błaszczak said he welcomes his German counterpart's proposal to place additional Patriot launchers on Polish soil. We supported Poland in ensuring airspace security with our Eurofighter warplanes and Patriot air defense systems, German Defense Minister Christine Lambrecht said earlier. The tension never seems to drop. We will continue to monitor the world and especially Ukraine. We'll see what happens in the next few days. We have reached the end of another video. You can support us by liking the video. You can easily follow new videos by subscribing. I wish you all a war-free day. See you.